Hello everybody and welcome back to another Raven update video. I'm Raven Knight and we got a lot to talk about today, so let's not waste any time and get right into the good stuff, okay? So first and foremost, I'm going to start today a little differently. Normally I end with this, but I'd like to start with this today. We're going to do our story sharing a little bit early, so story sharing time. So for those who don't know, I like to share stories or books that I am currently writing or have written with you guys so that you can kind of hear a few of the story ideas that I've come up with. And this one I want to share with you guys because it allows me to plug somebody that I really admire. Now, you guys know my avatar, my Raven Lord avatar, but it was drawn by a buddy of mine named Jay. Now, Jay has drawn a lot of work not related to me at all. He draws a lot of commissions, a lot of comics and stuff like that. And he drew one and he actually asked me, hey man, do you think you could write a story around this character? So I did. Really liked the story, and he asked me if I could continue with the story and turn it into a whole thing, and he would draw pictures for different characters. And so a story called Nomad was born. Nomad is a story in a fantasy world where there are spirits, and the spirits choose specific individuals that to embody them, that they will possess and live with. They'll give them power, they'll give them strength, they'll give them their blessing, and in exchange the person gives the spirit a piece of themselves, So it follows a young man who simply goes by the name Nomad, and he is a servant of the spirit simply called the One, and his job is to travel around the world and punish or defeat spirits who have gone by the wayside, who have chosen evil, who have chosen to commit wrongs. And he uses unbelievable power, but a lot of it, if you couldn't tell, is very much inspired by Elijah and the prophets of the Bible who stood against the prophets of Baal and the different paganistic prophets of Canaan and the Middle East at the time. So Nomad is mostly fighting shamans and enemies who embody wrongness, who embody sin and evil, and it shows him in how he confronts them and how he deals with them. The reason I want to bring up this story is because I'm actually very close to finishing it. There are only a few more chapters left to go, and Jay has been drawing amazing art for it. He has been putting a lot of himself into it, and I'm really appreciative of that. So I'm really glad that got done. Very excited that we're working on it. I'll leave a link in the description for those of you who want to check out the story and read it for yourself. You've seen the art scrolling across the screen. I hope you take a look at it. All right, second order of business. Speaking of art, after all this time, all this waiting, all this hoping, the Lady Raven has finally been completed. So for those of you who don't know, let me give you some background. I did a video a long time ago, starting a series called Women in History, where I look at women in different cultures and history and talk about how they likely lived, because we get this idea, this false idea, that women were just totally oppressed and mistreated in whatever culture they lived in. And I wanted to point out that women lived very unique and interesting lives in different cultures depending on where they came from. And I used an image of myself drawn by Hannah as a princess for the night video. So people were asking, are you going to have Hannah draw a female version of me in culturally accurate clothing for each video? Hannah didn't want to do that, so we worked up something else. She would draw a female version of the Raven Knight, and we would use that in all of our videos. So here it is. It's finally done right here. You can see it on the screen. Looks awesome in my opinion. Looks absolutely gorgeous. I am totally a fan. It will be on different merchandise in the Teespring store. I will be using it in some of my videos. I hope y'all like it. It looks really cool. I'm still working up the lore on it, but hey, that's finally done. Big shout out to Hannah for working so hard on it. Thank you so much. This was fantastic. Speaking of misconceptions about women in history, literally this morning, just as I was waking up this morning, I don't get on Discord as often as I used to for reasons that should be obvious at this point for any of you that are on it. But I got a message for a video topic, and it was about a Tumblr post that I had not heard of, but it was a very old one because it only brings up the original For Honor game, like before all the DLCs. And this Tumblrite is basically throwing shade on For Honor for its lack of inclusivity. yeah, you can expect me to respond to that. You can expect a response video on this Tumblrite versus For Honor. This is gonna be nice. And for those of you who like my For Honor response video content, you're finally gonna get to see me come back to that. Oh man, reading that article was that was bad, but trust me, I'll be making that response video in the near future, either today or tomorrow. It's gonna be bad. All right, but now let's get on to some other fun stuff. So, next order of business, this is my final week on my current job. I'm finally going to be wrapping up after this week, and then it just goes into getting into my new job, getting into the new thing. You know, it's got to find that new job, get situated in it, and get back to making some money. So keep praying for me and hoping that things go well. I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, so we'll see what happens. And as for videos coming up, the next Fantastical History will be on Drider. That is currently in the works. I'm working out my notes because it's a little tricky. Writing Drider spider people as a culture or society is very tricky, considering that spiders tend to be solitary creatures. So we'll have to see how that works out. It's going to be very different. The Dead by Daylight analysis is coming up soon. It's going to be on the Wraith. I've been reading up on the lore of the Wraith. It's going to be very interesting to write this one and do this one. Just know that the footage might not be that great because I'm not very good at playing the Wraith. Now, some of you have pointed out, hey, I could always ask other people who play these characters to give me footage. And I can. I wouldn't mind that. I would just need to know who plays the Wraith and who thinks they play him well. Or who plays the Nurse and who thinks they play her well. So, we'll see when we get to that point. But I'd like to try it myself first and see where we get. And then the other big video coming up is Becoming a Hero Motivation. I'm going to be talking about motivation for heroes, how to write good motivation, how to write bad motivation. Sound good? I hope it does. All right. And last order of business of today, it's kind of just a funny thing. I've had a lot of bad luck in For Honor and in gaming in general lately. So, true story, this happened. Okay, so yesterday before I went to work, I wanted to play some For Honor to get some good gaming footage that I could play in the background for this update video. I lost, I think, 7 games in a row before I finally had to go into work. Then I came back from work, and then I played some more games until finally I'd lost 11 games of For Honor in a row. It was insane. So my brother said, hey, you might be having some bad luck today. Why don't you try playing a different game? So I did. I went to Dead by Daylight to try to play some of that. I waited 30 minutes to be loaded up as a survivor and 30 minutes as a killer. And then the game crashed. And I was like, oh, baby, I'm not doing that again. So then I went to Rainbow Six Siege. And in the very first match, I was spawn killed twice as an attacker. And then as soon as I switched to defender, I was team killed. So, yeah. It's not been a good day. Oh, man, gaming became very painful yesterday. Which it shouldn't have been. But I was just kind of like, man, I've got some bad luck lately. I'm not complaining. It's just the way it happens sometimes. It's just life sometimes. But I just thought it was really funny and I wanted to share it with you guys. Just some bad luck. I'm hoping that goes away. And I hope that you enjoy the footage that you're seeing in the background. And anyway, I think that about covers everything. If you got any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments. If you want to join the Discord, I'll leave a link to the Discord in the description, as I always do. If you want to help support the channel, you can subscribe to the channel, which gives you information about what's coming out and lets you know when I'm releasing a new video. Or you can join the Discord, where I give regular updates. Well, I say regularly. I'm not on the Discord as often as I was anymore, but tit for tat. But I hope you'll consider joining up. I'll leave that link in the description too. I hope you're looking forward to what's coming next. Please like and comment. Please help me keep this channel rolling because I'm excited to see where it goes. We've reached kind of a stagnant point, but I'm hoping we can fix that. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.